But then yesterday's a trade deadline, and you got to look at different things. Teams stayed pat. The Green Bay Packers. Teams got rid of half their team. My Colts, the Broncos, the Bears. Although the Bears made a trade to get a guy. I like what they did, even though it sounds weird, and I ripped them for 2 days. But the Colts went out. Think about this. They've got a guy with national champion track speed who can run inside, can run outside. His name is Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines is stud. They traded him. They traded him for a guy named Zach Moss, who's a backup running back, which I guess you could say Hines is, and a 6th-round pick. A 6th-round pick. What do you get out of a 6th-round pick? So you trade a guy that just made a great over-the-shoulder catch from the new quarterback, a guy that even the coaches said, ladies and gentlemen, they said, hey, look, if you have a fantasy team, draft Nyheim Hines, and now in the middle of the season, they're done, they're out, gone. We told you this way back. I should get my Kings hat on. We told you this way back. This was going to be like MLB, Major League Baseball. This was going to be the same thing. Trade deadline comes, you got buyers, you got sellers, you got stand patters. The Colts were a seller. And I got to tell you, 3-4-1 in a crappy division. What are you, nuts? What are you doing? And by the way, if you are going to sell season tickets, at least the ones that I bought cost $6,000, $3,000 a piece. How about you give a little money back if you're going to make this a preseason game? Drives me bat blank crazy. All right, who's trying? I'll tell you who's trying. The Dolphins are trying. Bradley Chubb from the Broncos. It's a pretty sweet deal. Bradley Chubb can go get the quarterback. How about this? All right, now you got a 1st-round pick. Chase Edmonds and a 5th-round pick. Now that's a deal. Look, Broncos are trying to build it. Broncos are laden with the worst contract maybe in the NFL. That contract, other than the $20 million the Colts are paying a left guard, if you can believe it, $20 million for a left guard, $20 million for a left guard. But now all of a sudden, Miami, who has the most accurate passer in the league, a guy that when they play Tua is undefeated, guess what? Now they got a dude that can go get the passer. They only had 15 sacks. Now they're going to get a bunch. It's a pretty good deal, man. Pretty smart. Bears got rid of all their defense. I like it. Tell you why. I don't know if Chase Claypool's great or not. I know he has some drops, but the dude seems like he's a coming. And the Bears, between a bunch of different guys, Herbert, Fields, this kid, have a bunch of guys in their 20s, Moonies, have a bunch of guys in their early 20s. 23 is all Justin Fields is. Think about that. What were you doing at 23? I'll tell you what I was doing. I was hanging out at Nick's English Hut. My career was over as a basketball player, and I was drinking beer every day and eating a J.R. Ewing burger. That's right, in Bloomington. Going there as a grad assistant, trying not to get yelled at by Bobby Knight. That's what I was doing. This guy's leading the whole franchise. Good for him. I got to tell you, the Bears aren't tanking. The Bears are building. I didn't like the timing of what they did, getting rid of Roquan Smith, getting rid of Robert Quinn. But hey, look, if you're going to get some weapons, get some weapons. And if you're going to get weapons, get young weapons. You can build this together. There might be something over the years brewing in Chi-Town. Oh, by the way, congratulations to my friends Waddle, Sylvie, and all the good folks at WMVP in Chicago. They just got the rights to the Chicago Bears. And those of you that know Chicago know that's a big deal. Cubs, Bears, biggest deals that there are. They have the Sox and they have the Bears. Good for them. Congrats, my friend. You've seen Sylvie and you've seen Waddle on the big show. The biggest trade of the day, the Vikings, the Fighting Ryan Grigsons. You know, Ryan Grigson was a general manager of the Colts. And when Ryan Grigson was a general manager of the Colts, they went 16-0 in the division at one point. He never lost to the Titans. I'm going to say that again. 10-0 against the Titans. Do I need to say that again? Well, now, why am I bringing up Grigson? He's with the Vikings. Vikings are doing great. Vikings are leading the division. The division seems like it's theirs for the taking. But in terms of passing the ball downfield, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings were last in yards per completion. Well, guess what? TJ Hockenson coming in for Irv Brown, who's out for a few weeks with a high ankle sprain. TJ Hockenson solves a lot of the problems. And you know what? The Lions aren't going anywhere, so they got a bunch of picks. The thing about picks, do you trust the people making the picks? Do you? Do you trust, like we're in Indianapolis, do you trust Chris Ballard and Frank Reich to make the picks? Do you? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, at some point, do you trust the people with the freaking Lions to make the picks? Colts fans, do you trust Ballard? Or more importantly, ownership. Ownership. Do you trust Ballard and Reich to make the picks? Ownership in Detroit. Do you trust whoever your GM is to make the picks? Seriously. That's a big question. That's a huge question.